Welcome back to Fort Lewis Farm. Today I would like to talk about kombucha. Home brew is incredibly satisfying and I love doing this. I had a scoby and made my own kombucha for years in Austin, but when we moved back to Mount Vernon, I just got so busy and it sort of got away from me and I ended up killing it. So I've ordered a brand new scoby so that I can start a fresh batch and you guys can follow along with me. I'll show you how easy it is to make delicious, probiotic, healthy kombucha that you can drink at home. To get started, you just need to find a scoby. If you live near Mount Vernon, I am happy to share with you. As you start producing more batches of kombucha, every time you brew, the mother will create babies on top of her. So there'll be thin, smaller scobies on top that you can share with friends, turn into probiotic gummy treats, dehydrate for dog treats, or simply put them in your compost or directly into your garden beds. I've even done a face mask with some of my extras and it felt wonderful. It was like tingly and alive. It's really cool. Okay, so to get started, we are going to take some black tea. I have steeped about 6 tea bags, and these are just plain Jane black tea bags that I have here. You can also use green tea, but I've been steeping my tea for about 10 minutes. I'm going to remove the bags, and I can compost those as well. And to that, I'm adding 1 cup of organic sugar. This is unbleached sugar. You can use plain white sugar as well. So we're going to do 1 cup. And we're going to stir this into the tea so that it dissolves. Once your sugar has dissolved into your tea, you're going to need to add some cool water to the mixture. We're hoping to get about 1 gallon. We're going to leave some head space here for the starter that is in here and room for the scoby itself. So I'm going to try to fill it up to about right here. Maybe I'll start by just pouring in the warm tea and sugar. And then I'm going to add water to this. Okay, this looks about right. Got plenty of room for my starter and for the scoby itself. So I'm going to open the packet and kind of gently release the new mother in here. I do something called continuous brew. So when it's time to bottle and start my second fermentation, I'm going to leave the scoby in here as well as about a cup and a half of the starter, and that'll get the next batch going pretty quickly. You want to make sure that it is warm enough. If your house is too cold, then it has a tendency to mold, and that can be very dangerous. So you just want to make sure that ambient temperatures never get below about 70 degrees. So this is our mother right here. She's going to need a new name, so if you have any suggestions, you can leave them below. When I place her in, she'll probably fall to the bottom, but as she begins to go to work and eat this tea and sugar, then she's going to move towards the top of the container. She'll kind of move up and down as ambient temperatures change and as the feed levels in the jar change. This process, depending on how warm your house is, can last anywhere from 7 to 21, even 30 days if it's a little bit on the cool side. After 7 days, you can begin tasting it, and if it's too sweet, you let it go a little bit longer. If it's too tart, go ahead and use it, but then you can add additional sugar for your second fermentation. With practice, your kombucha can taste just as good, if not better, than the stuff that's commercially bottled and costs like $4 a pop. All right, so we're gonna open her up and add her to the tea. Okay, I've got the package open, and very gently, I'm just gonna slide her in. Oh. There she goes. It's gonna need to breathe, but you don't want anything from the outside coming in. The easiest thing to do is simply place a coffee filter on top and then secure that with a rubber band. I've got a purple one to match her jar. Okay, and so we're just gonna let her sit for 7 days, kind of check on her progress. It may bubble a bit. She's gonna move around the jar, and then we can start tasting in about 7 days. The fun part is secondary fermentation. We'll bottle it, and to the bottles we can add herbs, spices, fruits, dried fruits, all sorts of flavorings, and then it'll get carbonated and really fizzy and effervescent, just like the commercially bottled kombucha. Thank you so much for following along. If you want additional updates on the kombucha project, you can hit the bell below and you'll be notified of new videos. Subscribe to the channel. Happy brewing, and we'll see you soon.